10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera, bersama saya lagi Isharas Iskandar sebagai host anda hari ini untuk sesi sebelum break, iaitu sesi terakhir antara sesi terakhir untuk pagi lah. So bersama saya adalah Dr. James. Selamat datang Dr. James, alumni GMI yang kini pengurus besar di Alcon Johor. Terima kasih sudi bersama kami hari ini.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
So Dr. James, how does it feel, Dr. James, to be back on GMI platform?
Oh, amazing! Feels like a very proud to be back. When we started off, if you remember, back in the early 90s, it was just a small factory lot, right? Now to come here to see a full-fledged university is amazing. I mean, a proud moment. Proud moment.
So, can you share with us one of your most memorable experience during your time at GMI?
Sure. There's quite a lot actually. As you know, when we just started, we were the pioneer. So can you imagine while the class was going on, they have people in the background fixing up curtains.
I see.
And when we were starting off, also some of the modules, we were actually unpacking those the equipment, and setting it up while learning the module. So those are, ones that I could say distinctly stuck into our minds, because we literally kind of like was setting up GMI as well as, becoming part of that first batch.
Right?
Yeah, so that was very, very memorable, throughout, from first year, second year, third year, because literally it was a progression of growing. The institute was growing, the syllabus were coming to life. So that to me was memorable. We were part of that whole journey of setting up. Yeah. So we were the guinea pigs, if you like, during that time.
So, what do you think makes studying in GMI different from other universities?
Wow, that's easy. That's easy. I say this to many people. I say it over and over again. What GMI has is very, very unique. Where it combines your practical, the hands-on, and the theory part, right? And it's done together concurrently. So you don't just learn the practical and then go to theory, but you kind of have them both concurrently. And it stays with you because things that you do by hand, right, requires that skill, and you continue to use that skill. Even like today, until today, I still do wiring at home. I don't call a vendor or contractor, right? Because you're so right? Because you're confident. Once you're able to do it with hand, you understand the theory behind it. So that builds confidence, and that's the differentiation, that you can hit the ground running when you come out from GMI. You talk about other institutes, most likely when they come in, they still require training. They still require to undergo some sort of training so that they are apt to do both, the hands-on stuff that's required, and also that applying that theory. But for GMI, you hit the ground running.
Yes.
That's the differentiation. That's the key differentiation.
Yeah, because most people easy to learn from doing the things.
Correct. You can learn from books, but to apply what you learn, that's
better.
Correct. That's the differentiation.
How do you feel stepping into the working world after graduating from GMI?
No, I said because we were part of the first batch. I was blessed to be sponsored as well by the industry. So we got the scholarship from Bosch. So we were literally working. All the semester break, we are back in Bosch. During the industrial training, we were also with Bosch. So then, right after graduation, it was just like a natural transition from being a student to a employee. So it wasn't a shock whatsoever. It was more like you kind of, like I said, the confidence was already there, that you're confident about your ability, you're confident about the knowledge that you have, and now you're applying it. So and that's I would say, that transition, it wasn't a difficult transition from a student becoming a part of the workforce.
So it's normal process.
Just a natural progression.
Did the knowledge and skills you gained at GMI help you in your early career?
100%, 110%. I can say that At that time, like I said, I was blessed with Bosch, and my supervisor at that time, straight off the bat, they were giving us projects already, and you can see that the projects require the knowledge, the stuff that you acquired from the theory part, and how to apply it now, to an actual real life application. So, can you imagine? My first project was in circuit tester for side mirrors for BMW. Can you imagine
yes.
that? So, just as a student, straight away into the workforce, you are given a project like that because they already kind of know your skill sets, the knowledge that you have, and they are confident to give you projects that you can take on. So-called fresh graduates coming up from
so
the
you
institute.
need to refresh back what
Yeah,
you learn.
yeah. So that's why I felt that to be the confidence that you get from GMI is, you can't compare that to any other institute. It's amazing. And you can see that when we were there that time, being the first batch and seeing all the subsequent batches that come through GMI, they had the same philosophy.
So you
able
guys-
to hit the ground running.
So you guys need to register for GMI.
Yeah.
Could you share your key responsibility as the general manager at Icon Johor?
Say that again.
Could you share your key responsibility
All right.
as
Okay.
a general manager?
So as the general manager for the site, or the site leader, you kind of, the governance is across, right? So from the people, people development, the safety of the people, the well-being, productivity. But the key one for being a site head for any manufacturing facility is that you have to ensure that you meet those demands, that the customer has given you, or the orders that the customer has given you, and the financials, right? So for a manufacturing facility, it's a cost center. So you have to ensure that you're cost effective, right? So that you don't pass on that cost to your customer. Your customer can get it at the same, the prices that they can afford, as opposed to. So you have to find ways. So the responsibility as a site head, you have to, motivate the team to find ways to make your products at a more efficient, more cost-effective way, so that the cost doesn't translate to your customers.
Yes.
At a quality, at highest quality.
Of course, highest quality
Yes.
always.
Yes.
How has your technical background contribute to your success in this leadership role?
If you're, especially in manufacturing, so I've been in manufacturing, whether in a capacity of R&D or operation, so the technical knowledge and technical know-how actually is really required, because manufacturing is a technical process, right? Whether it's a physical part or something like more of a process. So like, for example, you're going to manufacture at a refinery to other byproducts from oil and gas, or assembly. So all this actually is a technical process. Like it or not, manufacturing is a technical process.
Yeah.
So having technical insights so that you can kind of guide the team, say for when they get lost, or there's issues, some challenges that comes about. If you don't have a technical appreciation, it's very difficult, to have an appreciation what they are going through, what they're telling you, what the challenges they are facing, So technical background gives you that insight, so they're able to engage in those discussions and find a way forward, to find a resolution to those challenges. Because manufacturing is like that. Every day there will be some challenges.
Yes.
Right. So having that technical insights, a very strong foundation in your technical know-how, is a huge plus. It's a huge plus. And I can see even all my counterparts around the world, the other general managers around the other sites in the world, whether it's Germany, US, Europe, US, or in Asia, all of them have technical background. They're all engineers, So they, to be successful in their roles, I think that was a key criteria.
I see. So what core values from GMI do you still apply in your career today?
Oh, okay. Diligence. Yeah, you have to be diligent. You have to be curious to a point that it hurts, because GMI teaches you that you have to be inquisitive. You have to ask the questions. You have to go deeper into things that you trying to resolve. These are the values that was instilled in GMI, right? Be curious. Don't be afraid to ask the question, because the intent is to solve problems.
Yeah.
Right, so that's I would say those are the key ones. Diligence, work hard, work smart, be curious. To a point where, like I said, curious until you feel the pain. So that you can try to find that solution to go forward.
So I have a question that I made it myself. In your opinion, what sets GMI alumni apart from graduates of other institutions?
I think that to add on to what I said earlier, right, in terms of that we are workforce ready when we graduate, right, and compared to other institutes, even now as an employer, I see that as well. So when we hire GMI graduates, the training, the exposure is very little to none because they already adapt. They're quite familiar with the process. They're quite familiar with the surrounding. They're quite familiar with the industry, whereas other graduates most likely because the way how they were taught or trained, so to speak, they're more in the classroom setting, more of the lab setting. So when they come to in the actual industrial environment, some of them tends to struggle to adapt. It takes longer.
It takes time to adapt with.
So that's where I see as an alumni now also proud that we are also hiring GMI students, right? GMI graduates. I still see that. So that's really good to see that the philosophy of GMI continue until today. It's great to see. Really proud.
Yeah, GMI already changed a lot.
Yeah.
What are the major difference between student life and working life?
Okay, student life, you're only focused about making sure you pass your exams, your training, so your real life responsibilities haven't come in through yet, right? So when you start working, that comes into play, right? You got more commitments that you have to be aware of and make sure that you fulfill, right? But that's the thing about GMI is that sometimes there's this overlap, because you're so much into work already that between the student life and working life, like I said earlier, it's a natural transition.
Yeah, natural.
Right, but in terms of commitments, obviously, as a student, as an adult working in the industry, is different. But as from a transition from a GMI graduate to the industry, it's very natural. You don't feel that there's any culture shock element to it. Nothing like that. You feel comfortable because you have that confidence.
It takes time to feel with the situation.
Yeah.
And what was the biggest challenge you faced after graduating, and how did you overcome it?
Biggest challenge was because we are, in some aspects, we are seen as fresh graduates, right? So how do you go in there and not be treated like you're not really sure what you're doing, right? So that was the biggest challenge, because in some cases, the people who do not know or aware of GMI, they would feel that we are really fresh graduates and they require training. So that was a bit of a challenge in the beginning. But it's not a big challenge, but it was a challenge nevertheless, that to convince the people that we're okay, we are confident in our ability, give us the challenging stuff, we don't mind, so that what I would say was the challenge in the beginning. And how to overcome that is basically applying what you have learned.
Yeah.
Right? You have showed them that you have the ability, you have that confidence, that you acquired.
So people
GMI.
trust in us, right?
Yeah.
As a first graduate.
Yeah. You have to show it. Then you have to earn the trust.
What are the most important technical or soft skills in your current industry?
Current industry, okay. For my current industry, currently we are making medical device class 3. They are contact lenses. They're not only used for refractive error correction, they also use as bandage lenses. So if you have a cornea injury, for example, they will use our lens as a bandage lens, so that it doesn't exacerbate the injury. So the current challenge that we have in terms of talent is actually molding technology. So we find that it's a niche industry. So to acquire such skills seems to be quite difficult recently, because there's a lot of demand for them, but the supply is very little. So I hope, like today, was told that there's new diploma in precision technology that will help. That we hope that there'll be more intakes of students coming to that course, and hopefully that will address the challenges that we have currently. The shortage of this very niche technical ability, technical skills, and knowledge. So we hope in the next few years with these new courses that GMI has introduced, and the likes of other institutes of like GMI,
Yes.
this will address those challenges. You know, in terms of that's to be the technical skill. The soft skills piece is more, but you know, when you are technically sound, but you also need to articulate those ideas, you know, in a way that others can understand as well, right? So communication would be the soft skill, I would
Yeah,
say,
the key.
that needs to be honed, needs to be trained, but the only way to do that is to practice, right? So we hope, you know, we give that also at our current place, where we even technicians, when they come up with proposals, they, you know, the technical drawings or what have you, they have to present, you know, and they get better as you know, as the more and more they do it, they get better, because practice makes you know, it requires practice. So those are the two I would say, you know, in terms of technical hard skills. I would say molding technology, that would be something that we are really looking at to overcome the challenge. But the soft skills part for industry, I would say communication. You know,
Communication,
so
yeah.
you can be a brilliant engineer, but if you can't articulate your ideas, you're not going to go
It's really
far.
hard to work together.
Yeah,
without
they have to come
communication.
together. Correct.
So if you could return to your student days at GMI,
Mhm.
what would you do differently or improve?
Improve. I would say I would try to learn more. I think that's one thing I would say I would regret, you know, after leaving GMI, because there's the amount of opportunities there is abundance, right? It's just about you yourself, whether you want to acquire those skills. So mechatronics, yes, we have all the fixed syllabus, you know that, but I wish I could have done more on the CAD CAM area. I could done more on the CNC area, you know. So that I would say, if something would have done differently, I would have done that. You know, acquire additional modules if it was possible to acquire this, because the technical training officers were super patient. They will
Yes.
entertain all your questions. You know, so I wish I could have done that. You know, that would even put me in a better state after leaving GMI.
So, what do you think that GMI need to improve, or what already GMI have the best in here?
For me, one thing I feel maybe Tuan Haji Solehin is still working on that, is that it's more of
Yes.
the promotion of what GMI can offer. I think a lot of people, you know, over the years may have not seen, you know, in terms of the impact that GMI has
Yes.
on the talent landscape, you know, the workforce landscape. So I hope to see more, you know, more promotion of GMI or what GMI can offer. I also like to see that there be more ambassadors of TVET, right? Because I think some parents, and like I see here as well, maybe they're not too sure what TVET can offer their children. And TVET shouldn't be, you know, the last resort. It shouldn't be the second choice. It should be the choice. You know, even my children, I get them to go to do more vocational training after they finish their secondary schooling, because the hands-on piece is very important. So once they get the hands-on piece, then if they want to further to more tertiary, more academic, that's fine, you know. But those that they acquire can be applied, you know, when they start to further their studies. So I would say those two things, you know, one is promotion of GMI itself as an institute that provides really high class, high standard education. And secondly, is also concurrently, if possible, it's about TVET being, instead of being a second choice or an alternative, should be the
Yes.
first choice, you know, for parents, for their kids. So these are the two things I would say they should do.
Because me personally, before I study at GMI, I didn't know about GMI.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what could GMI give. So until I study in GMI, I learned a lot about GMI, and then I think that GMI need to be better promotion.
Correct. I agree. I agree.
Promotion for
100%.
because GMI are giving a good learning base, project based learning, and good future for the students.
100%. 100%.
Yes.
I think employability for GMI students is, I think, it's very high now. If I heard about 90+%, so that's amazing, right?
Yes.
So that's why I say that if could, I think there's more to be done, you know, to promote GMI to the masses, to the, you know, to Malaysia. I think, and I said that if parents think TVET should be a second choice or the last resort, or things that, you know, only for children that can't be academically do well, I think that's a wrong so-called wrong idea about TVET.
Yes.
You know, I think TVET should be a first choice. You know, and we hope that promotion, more ambassadors can speak more, show evidence of how TVET students are doing really well in the industry. That will help. That will help the cause.
Because nowadays parents see that TVET is like for a non-academic students.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. That shouldn't be the case, right? So the TVET is it's a invaluable training, invaluable education that that children should have, could have. You know, there shouldn't be an alternative. Yeah.
Because sometimes they don't really learn about TVET. They don't really know about TVET. Same as me. I also saw TVET as not for academic students until I study about it. I learn about GMI and I study here, and then I know that TVET is really good.
Yeah.
TVET is giving the best for students.
Correct. And there is an academic part of it, right? There is academic. In some of the courses like the mold technology, you need to know scientific molding, you know, so there'll be a bit math but not to scare people away that they don't like math or don't like science. It's something that the fundamentals, that's very important, so that when you have that fundamentals, then when you apply it, you know, through by doing, you have a very sound basis, so that you can do things confidently, right? So once you have the knowledge, you can apply it confidently. So that's important. So yeah, I wish that more people know about GMI and what GMI can offer, you know. And I think there's a lot of success stories out there that GMI can leverage, you know, to show, to publicize what this awesome institute can offer to students.
In my opinion, not just GMI, other institute also should explain about TVET detail.
Yes.
So parents know what is TVET.
Yeah.
So what that TVET give. Even myself, I when I first came in here, I got to my class. I asked them how's the result in SPM, and then I see different type of students.
Yeah.
There are some with less A and more A, but when they're learning here, and currently I'm in semester 2, and I see they improve a lot. They learn more better.
Correct.
Because they're doing practical things, right? Yeah.
So like, you know, my when I joined, there were only a few that were post SPM, the students, so we just fresh out of school. But then we were mixed with the IKM students, and some of them were matured students, and they were super skillful. You know, I can remember one of them that when we had to build our own power supply, he was braiding the wire, and you know, and the way how it was like a piece of art. Compared to us, just fresh graduate students, you see, you know, just use cable tie and that's time, you know. So but because we were together, we learn from them, right? To do things better, to do things much more with higher quality, because they have the experience, they have the knowledge prior to coming to GMI. So you have that spectrum of fresh graduates and also people who already been in industry. So to me, that's a super mix, you know, that really help us both to learn, because you know, in some cases they left school for quite a number of years, so the theory part they took a bit more rusty, so we helped them with that, but they helped us with the practical piece, you know. So the combination was great.
Because for me, sometimes students are not focused in studies because they are learning through paper, reading, writing, and they're not doing the stuff.
Correct.
So when we're learning in GMI, using the machines, using the cameras, everything, the stuff, so people like, they are interested more in studying because they have to use it.
Actually doing, right? So and adult learning, as you know, they follow this thing, they call it 10, 20, 70, right? So 10% is training, 20% is exposure, but 70% is learning by doing, experiential learning, right? So if you don't do it, the retention of what you learn will start to diminish. So you go for training, okay, remember it tomorrow,
so
day after.
Easy to get recognized, remember it.
You'll forget, right? So, but once you learn and then you apply, that stays much longer.
Yes.
Much longer.
Because we already use it, we learn it. So, what advice would you give to GMI students preparing to enter the workforce or pursue further studies?
Okay, so if you there's two parts of it, right? So those who like to go into the workforce, I would suggest, my advice is do something well. You know, I always say this, do something well. So if you're a mechatronics student, do something well. You know, whether it's a PLC programming or robotics or anything, but do it well. And sure enough, employability is not going to be an issue. I can tell you that from all those people that we interviewed, those who have a niche talent, or not say niche talent, they have a specific talent that really they are really good at. They always do well. And those who are still feel that okay, you know what they have acquired in GMI, and they feel they want to go, they want to learn more, and they want to further studies. So be it, no problem. That's what I did, right? So I felt okay. So I done with GMI the ability, the confidence to do things, with your hands. I have that already, but I was more inquisitive. I want to do more. I want to learn more. I want to be, to push myself to the limit. So that's what I did. It wasn't more of a paper qualification. I wanted to see how far I can go to acquire the knowledge. And I stayed true to mechatronics.
Yeah.
From GMI to my degree to my PhD, it was all about mechatronics. Because that's my passion, my interest. And I got that here in GMI as a foundation. So my advice is, that's it. If you want to go into the workforce, do something well. Do something really well while you're in GMI, and make that known when you go in for the interviews. But if you feel that GMI is not enough and you want to push yourself further, so be it. Because there's a lot of opportunities now. So don't settle. Don't settle. Push yourself. Be better than yesterday.
Yeah, that's a good advice. And also some advice for students who just complete SPM.
I said that remember we talked about the TVET being, for all those students who just finished SPM, take a course in GMI if you can, talk to the counselors, make it a reality, because you will never ever get such education anywhere else in Malaysia except from GMI. It's unique to GMI, and there's multiple graduates here that have proven themselves in the industry and made themselves done really well for themselves in the industry. Some I just met today, they are actually company owners, right, with just their diploma. Because again, like I said, GMI has that differentiates GMI to any other institute. You will get both. You have both the technical know-how and the ability to apply those technical know-how in the workforce. So if you're just finishing your SPM, you're not sure, come and talk to GMI, come talk to the counselors, get some more insights, and I'm assure you won't regret it once you enroll at this brilliant institute. So that's my advice to the Form 5 leavers.
Thank you so much, Dr. James, for your meaningful and inspiring sharing today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Welcome. So that's all for our session with Dr. James. And to our listeners, don't go anywhere. Up next, we'll be hearing from another amazing alumnus with more exciting stories to share. Stay tuned.
All right, bye guys.
Goodbye.